Dear tea friends from around the world, hello and welcome back to a tea lesson, Chaxi lesson with Stéphane Erler from the blog Tea Masters. Today I'm a bit late, it's already dark outside, so I decided to do something a little bit different. So you already see I've changed the format of the phone and I'm going to brew a very special tea in this I Ching Sha from the Qing dynasty, Qianlong era. It's Sha clay with a Falang Cai decoration, blue and white decoration. We can see a beautiful line here and some flowers on the other side. Now, the idea for this Chaxi, yesterday I was talking about puerh, and well, I gave a lot of information, and I think that information is, as I always say, theory is good, practice is better. So it's always the challenge of tea to combine theory and practice. So yesterday, doing both things at the same time was a bit difficult to give you a history about puerh and then brewing this 7542 cake. So today I'll take it a bit more easy and I'll brew my 1950s loose raw puerh, which I have here. Now, before I take it out, I'll start by preheating my teapot. My water is already almost boiling. I'll start by pouring it on the outside to avoid the thermic shock. You hear clack, clack, clack. It's already reacting, expanding. Now that it has expanded on the outside, we can feel it inside very slowly. I hope you can see the steam coming out. It's beautiful. And now, while the teapot is warming up, we may have a look at the leaves inside here. Already a very nice, clean and crisp sound. These leaves are not moist, but are well dry. Here, so the okay. Again, a very clean old puerh, so it has very old wood. It seems you enter in a very old Japanese house, maybe, or an old temple with a lot of wood in summer in Taiwan, and then because of both it's very hot and humid, the wood smells are very, very strong inside. This is one thing that, but it's not very strong. When the smell is too strong, it's a red flag. You have to be careful. If it's supposed to be such an old tea, as I was saying yesterday, the smell should go down and decrease. It's losing strength. So it's faint, of course, because it was kept in a jar. Now I put it in the jar 10 minutes ago. The jar will help to air it and concentrate a bit the aromas. But once you put it on the plate, these aromas are going to go a bit away. Okay. Now let's preheat our cups. Okay, my 4 cups are well full. I did not fill the teapot completely, so I'll have to use roughly the same amount of water again when I'm going to brew these leaves, so that it exactly fits these 4 cups. Now, today we are in a special atmosphere. It's dark outside. I'm using a dark chabu. The music in the background is by my favorite French Baroque group, Douce Mémoire. It's a music by Ducoroy, Le Requiem des Rois de France. So this is the Requiem, so the music that was composed for the death of French kings. So each time a king would die, they would play this music in the church to lay him to rest. So in this time of darkness and sadness for many people who have lost a parent or a friend due to the coronavirus, I was thinking this is the way that I would try to cope with the pain and turn my sorrow into something more positive. So taking very old tea to have lots of memories, to have a feeling of time, this music of Requiem in the background, and more black and white theme. Okay. So actually I have a childhood friend, Michael, who lost his father due to the virus. So I'm dedicating today's tea to the memory of his father, and I hope that maybe you don't have to copy, but you can also see it as one way to express your feeling. Say it with tea. Now, the meaning of a chaxi, it's not always simply about the tea. So I say the tea is at the beginning, because then from the tea you decide which is the right teapot for the tea, which one is the right tea cup for this tea, etc., etc. But actually, before the tea, what is really the most important is what feelings do you want to express when you are making a chaxi. So actually, before the tea, you have to wonder yourself what this chaxi is going to be about. Are you going to say, oh, it's spring, I want to express a spring feeling, a feeling of joy, or is it you want to pair it with a meal, and then you think of the meal also that you want to pair it? Or if you do a chaxi, you can also do it about a different season or a festivity, Christmas, Easter can also be a good idea, or a birthday for somebody, thinking of somebody, like the other day we were saying, or if you cannot be with your loved ones because of the distance, the social distancing. So what can you do to connect with your friends or loved ones? For instance, by doing a chaxi with items from your friends on this chaxi. And maybe one of the most meaningful chaxi is really to think of somebody who has passed away that was very dear to you, and this is how I would do it now. For instance, this teapot has a personal meaning for me. The Leo, the lion, was the pen name of my grandfather. So I had the chance to take this teapot to Germany and had tea with him. Actually, it was also an old puerh. And now drinking from this teapot will always remind me of that special time I had with my grandfather, Leo, and drinking puerh. So this is something that goes beyond the value of the tea or the value of the ware. It's a personal connection that makes the tea very meaningful. On the now, Michel François, who created this, he called it a cushion, a white cushion or a cloud, and on this cloud there's a symbol of a bat. I just realized now, but in China, in Chinese, bat when it's upside down also means happiness. So we are back to our COVID bat in a very ironic way. How to find happiness in an upside down world. Yeah, who thought I would do such a video one day? Well, let's enjoy now this puerh that is almost 70 years old. I've poured it in different cups, also to have some change, to see how each cup will impact the tea, and so even though it's one tea, it's a way of drinking it in different ways. First, I tried with an old Ming Dynasty De Roi cup. Don't know if you can see the transparency of the cup. It's a bit too bright now. Another De Roi cup with dragons. Now, the dragon also has the meaning of a king. The king, Wang, in Chinese is also the person who is between heaven and earth, in the middle, and who's trying to harmonize everything. So the brewer is always the tea king, the one who tries to harmonize the elements of fire to heat the water and the earth from the leaves. Very clean, very pure. It's old wood, very sweet and coating everywhere. Absolutely delicious. Now, one cup I like, Qing Dynasty Double Happiness. This one is still a bit more common. Because this one is quite thin, actually, it makes the tea thinner than these other two cups. And I'm interested also to try it in this replica of a Yuan Dynasty Qinghua cup. This is how you hold it. Yeah, it adds on the finesse. It has lost a little bit on in terms of warmth. I should drink it maybe before the other one because it's a bit larger like this. But it feels very peaceful, relaxing, sweating. And the good thing with having the phone like this, I can even see who is online. Hello. Can see the tea surface clearly. Well, maybe we'll try. We can see it more clearly on the second try. Let's do a second brew because this is a tea that can really brew for a long time. So very complex smells that you don't get from a new tea. You really have to wait for these smells to appear with storage, but at the same time, now with being so old, they are very, very pure, and this is what makes it so special, and it has so much depth and aftertaste. This is one reason why it's the dream of so many collectors to have such an old puerh, and of course even better to be able to brew it in a teapot from the Qianlong era, so it's over 200 years old. You see there's even a cross inside here, you can see. Not that they were Christians, I don't think so, but it was more a way to make a mark to know to which teapot this lid was made for when it was fired separately. But this hidden cross is actually another nice thought if you are doing such a tea. Okay. So Carl feels that the first was The first brew was a bit long. Maybe I got lost a bit in thoughts. It was quite strong. I could have made it a bit shorter to my taste, but it really depends actually on the drinker's taste. Some like their oolong or their puerh strong. Actually, the other advantage of a very good aged puerh is that no matter how long you brew it, almost it won't become bitter and bad. It's just becoming more concentrated. Of course, if you have lots of leaves, it could be a bit overwhelming. Some, especially with younger puerh, some people would have trouble to fall asleep. But with such an aged puerh, it feels more relaxing when it's very strong. So it's a bit depending on how you like it. You see, my second brew was much shorter than the first one, also because the leaves have been awakened after the first brew. So now, and it's only the second brew, so they still have lots of aromas inside. So I could be a bit shorter. I also wanted to try to make it a bit shorter. The brew is more transparent now. Still a lot of sweetness. Of course, now there's more finesse because it's not brewed so long. Try to show you a bit the color. Maybe it's better. Huh? You're welcome. Let's see if I can also give you an idea of how much I have in the teapot. Very nice. Now, what is a bit strange is that to some extent the smell from the teapot reminds me a bit of puerh. But from the aftertaste and from the color, which is not black, I definitely have a shung feeling. But this also shows that why puerh is so attractive, because to some extent it does come close, at least in the smell, in the more superficial way to aged shung puerh. Now I'll try to have another class about the problems of aged puerh and counterfeiting, but for today, let's just simply enjoy this. By being grateful to be alive, being grateful of enjoying tea, being grateful for technology to connect us, even though we are worlds apart. Being happy to find some, and to add meaning. It's not that the tea has meaning, actually the meaning comes from what you make out of the tea. This is also one thing that I've learned, and there's no limit to our own creativity, but the magic, the meaning you put into a chaxi does not really come from the tea, it comes from you. So it's you are making what you can, what you want with all this. But of course, then if you want to do something beautiful, you also have you try to find the best leaves to go together, the most pure tasting tea, so that it will also match the purity of your thoughts and the purity of your mind. But yeah, you have to appreciate what you are drinking, and to some extent, sometimes you have to forget about it when you try to find something new, and not always try to compare your next tea with a very special one like this, because now probably tomorrow I will go to Alishan, try to find some new harvest of oolongs and jinshuan, but I cannot use this as a standard for them. Because it would be unfair. I would never find any oolong that has this profile or this purity. I can only try my best and maybe think of the other jinshuan and oolongs that I've had in the past and try to use them as my standard to try to find something just as good or better. But right now, let's simply appreciate this. Allez. Thank you very much for being so many to watch today's video. I hope you've enjoyed this a bit more close format, the phone format. Tell me in your comments if you prefer this way, or if you prefer that I go back to more the TV format, so that you can see the Chaxi in its totality. And tomorrow, as I said, I might not be there, but maybe I'll try to do a video in the fields and give you this for as a hello from Taiwan. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.